Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? Today we are going to learn about matters and non-matters in a super fun way with the help of superheroes. So get ready because this is not going to be a boring lessons at all. Trust me, you are definitely going to love it. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. Your one like motivates me a lot to keep making more videos. I hope you have watched my previous videos. If not, please do check them out. In this video, you will also get notes and NCERT exercise questions. So make sure you stay till the end.
All right, John, mission parameters uploaded. Assemble the team and prepare the presentation on metals and non-metals.
Roger.
Just look around yourself. Everything around you, your phone, your water bottle, your table, your chair, is made up of small building blocks called elements. Now think about your favorite superhero. Each one has their own unique powers. Just like that, every element also has its own special properties. For example, I hope you remember Avenger movie. In the Avenger movie, you know Iron Man? Right, Tony Stark. Tony Stark always wears his powerful iron suit. In the same way, an element like iron is also made up of the same type of atoms and has its own superpowers like strength, durability. Just think about it. Can you break one superhero into two different superheroes? No, right? Just like that, an element cannot be broken down into simpler substances. You can also pause the video anytime to write down the notes easily. Now, we are going to explore the physical properties of matters and non-matters. But before we jump in, watch this video carefully.
Look at my body. Notice how it catches the light. It looks shiny. It's made from a metal.
From the previous video, we are now going to learn about the first physical property of metals, that is luster. Luster simply means the shiny appearance of a substance. Have you ever noticed how gold, silver shine so brightly? That is because metals can reflect light very well. Because of this amazing property, metals are often used to make jewelry, coins, and decorative items. Have you ever wondered why metals are shiny? Let's understand this in a simple way. Inside metals, there are free moving electrons. When light falls on this surface, these electrons bounce the light back to our eyes, and that reflection is what makes metals look shiny. Unlike metals, non-metals are generally non-lustrous, which means they do not shine and usually have a dull appearance. But wait, there are some interesting exceptions. For example, iodine. Even though it is a non-metal, in its solid form, it looks shiny and has a metallic luster. But don't get confused, it still behaves like a non-metal. If you hit it with a hammer, it will break easily. Another amazing example is diamond. Did you know diamond is made up of pure carbon? Yes, the same carbon that you find in the things like graphite in your pencil. But in diamond, carbon atoms are arranged in a very strong structure due to high heat and pressure. That is why diamond looks shiny and is extremely hard. Now, watch this video carefully to understand another interesting property of metals and non-metals.
In the natural world, metals are generally hard. They resist being dented, scratched, and broken when something hits them. And that is why this hammer is made up of metal. But if the hammer were made up of chalk, wood, or certain plastic, it would have snapped on the very first strike.
But wait, there are some interesting exceptions in metals too. Not all metals are hard. Some metals are actually very soft. For example, sodium and potassium. These metals are so soft that they can be cut easily with a knife. And there is something more interesting. These metals are kept in a oil. Yes. Do you know why? Because they react very quickly with air and water. Hardness in non-metals. Most non-metals are soft, but there is an interesting exception, and that is diamond. Diamond is the hardest natural substance on the earth. Watch this video carefully to understand another property of metals and non-metals.
Malleability is the ability of a material to be hammered, rolled, pressed into thin sheets or shapes
without cracking or breaking. It allows metals like gold, aluminum, and copper to be shaped into useful thin products.
Malleability means the ability of a substance to be beaten into thin sheets. Just look at the picture carefully. But what about non-metals? Non-metals are not malleable. This means they cannot be hammered into thin sheets. Instead, when we try to hit them, they break easily. Alright, watch this video carefully to explore another amazing property of metals and non-metals.
My internal resistance is too high. I need a potential difference. But without a flow of charge, he's just a heavy statue.
You can't stop the flow! This line and you'll end up like sulfur, fried and melted.
Is that what they taught you in the academy? How? Binary. But I am carbon. Specifically, I am graphite. I have the soul of a non-metal, but the conductivity of a king. You metals think you own the current. And you're right, most non-metals are cowards. Wood, sulfur, oxygen. They clutch their electrons in an iron grip because they refuse to let go.
I hope you understood the video where we discussed electrical conductivity. Non-metals generally act as insulators. They do not allow electricity to pass through them. However, graphite is an exception case. Now, students, watch this video carefully.
Why isn't the energy spreading?
It's not about how tough you look, man. It's about how well you handle the heat. Let me show you how a good conductor gets it done. Thermal energy instantly through my whole body. I don't trap the heat, I flow with it. I'm metal.
I hope you understood the video where we discussed thermal conductivity. So here we can say that metals are good conductors of heat, whereas non-metals are poor conductor of heat. Students, we are not ending here. If you want to take your science learning to the next level, we are here for you. At Science Boost, we provide one-on-one science tutoring specially designed to make concept easy, clear, and interesting. Classes are conducted on Google Meet, Zoom, and are available for CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and Australian curriculum students. So if you want to boost your confidence in science, please email us at scienceboost11@gmail.com. In this video, you will learn how metals and non-metals behave differently. So look at this video carefully.
Perimeter set, Captain? I don't see any barricades.
Freeze, Leo. Look down, right at your shins.
Whoa, I almost walked right through that. Is that thread? It looks too thin to do anything.
It's not thread, it's metallic wire. and if your boot had caught it, the tension would have pulled the steel pin on that flare over there, lighting up this entire forest and giving away our position.
But it's as thin as a hair. If I hit that in full gear, wouldn't it just snap like a dry twig?
Exactly. They draw it through tiny dies. Because of ductility, we get a wire that is thin enough to be completely invisible in the shadows, but retains massive tensile strength. Ductility means a solid material can be drawn out, pulled, and stretched into an incredibly thin wire without losing its structural integrity. That's exactly what the enemy hopes you think. But copper is a metal, Leo, and metals possess a property called ductility. If this were made of a non-metal, like carbon or glass, drawing it this thin would make it incredibly brittle.
Hope you understood ductility. It means the ability of a material, especially metals, to be drawn into thin wires. For example, gold, silver, iron, copper, platinum, etc. Now, we are going to learn about another property of metals and non-metals. So please watch this carefully.
Why is it not ringing?
So this is another property, sonority. Metals are sonorous in nature, which means they produce a ringing sound when they are stuck. That is why metals are used in making bells and musical instruments, whereas non-metals are non-sonorous in nature, so they do not produce such a ringing sound when hit. So this is the last video of this topic. Stay connected to understand it.
I'm metal. My body is made of iron. If you keep me out here in the moisture and air...
I react with it. My body becomes rusted. This whole process is known as corrosion.
He's right, I'm getting it too. I'm made of copper metal, and when the moist air attacks me, my body converts into this greenish color. It's my version of corrosion.
Yes, look at me. I am made completely of silver. When I react in the air, my body converts to this blackish color. I'm a non-metal. You can leave me out in the rain and air all day long. No rust, no green patches, no black tarnish for me. And no corrosion.
Come on, let's get out of this moist air. Then you will be safe.
Metal objects get damaged when exposed to air and water. This brown deposit is called rust, and this process of formation of rust on objects made of iron is called rusting. And yes, the rusting of iron can be prevented by the several methods such as painting, oiling, tracing, and applying a protective layer of zinc metal on iron. And that process is known as galvanization. So that is all about this chapter. I hope you liked it and understood all the concept clearly. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more such a learning video. Keep learning, keep growing. Thank you everyone.